Well, welcome to Allen's Day. This is part 9 working on this 2005 Holiday Rambler by Monaco. This is on a Roadmaster chassis, so it's a real good platform to start upgrading. It's an older unit, but it's definitely something worthwhile fixing up. And today we're going to talk about guarding from front to back, covering the motor, your generator, and just your side boxes on there, and your back shrouding on there. So let's get started, and I'll walk you around and show you what we got. Well, let's get started here. I'll show you what I did as far as putting some guarding on here. Up front, I've got the guard on here. This does a couple things for us. It's a step to get up and wash the windshields, and it sort of protects the front end here a little bit. One of the big things that I put under here was I have a receiver on here, and in this receiver you can see that it's just a standard 2-inch receiver, and that is if you've ever got to get yourself pulled out of someplace, you better know that ahead of time before you're actually stuck someplace where you need somebody to hook on a chain and try to pull you out of there. So I've got a receiver on here, and that receiver does a couple things. For one, it'll pull you out of the ditch, and for two, it's part to support. I put a structure underneath here to protect the generator. The generator is right up in this area here, and with this receiver attached to two cross tubes on there, what that'll do is it'll protect that. If you ever had to have one of these units towed, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to smash your generator when they hook this up and tow this. And also they're going to smash your exhaust for the generator. And then once that happens, you're probably looking at $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of damage after the tow truck driver lifts up and smashes your generator. So put yourself some guarding around that and plan ahead, so if it ever has to be towed, you're not smashing your generator, and you got a place to hook onto. And then this front guard, I've got a tube going all the way back to the back end there. Now this whole structure, it's all bolt on, so that if you ever got to take it off or get at anything, it's just taking a bunch of bolts and it's completely off there. So I've had to use the receiver a couple times already to hook on and give myself a little pull, just to show you what I'm talking about with the generator on these. This is where the generator sits in here, and there's that tube that I put in there that goes underneath the generator, and that protects this from anything bad happening to it. Also, what I've got going on here is just a little guarding coming up here. These are some stainless steel pipes coming around, so those aren't going to rust on you. A little more guarding on here. When I first got this unit, one of the earlier videos I mentioned that there was some front end damage on here, and it was in that front corner right here and a little bit on the side, but also some of the other damage that was on here. Something dragged across all these doors all the way down here, so I had to make all new door skins for this, and I didn't want that to happen again. So I've got a stainless steel rub bar all the way through here that just sticks out a little bit farther than what the doors are, and this rub bar is tied across all the way across to the frame, the subframe on the unit, not the motorhome frame. And then there's little standoffs going in here, all the way down about every 4 feet, and they're all tied across. So is it gonna withhold a major collision? No, probably not. But what it does do, where I go back in the woods a little bit, and I'm always scraping against trees or little stumps, or for that matter, even a shopping cart comes flying into there. So I put that stainless steel rub bar on there. And then on the back here, let me get you underneath here and show you what I did with the motor. I showed you a little bit of guarding that I put around the transmission cooler. But around the transmission, I built a cage to go all the way around. And it goes in the front here, 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 and another one in the front. And what that's going to do, it's going to keep any road debris from rolling up. You start smashing parts like this right here, you just start adding $1,000 bills, throwing them out the window for running over a 2x4 going the road and smashing into this. So built the guard. It all bolts onto here, protects the oil pan and the bottom of the oil pan. Well, when I first got this unit, one thing that I noticed is this is the drain plug for the motor, and on that drain plug there was a little road rash and a little gravel on there. So knowing that, you know that when you're coming in and out of real steep ditches, that oil pan is exposed to the concrete, and I wouldn't want to be the person that took and smashed that oil pan up into the motor there. So there again, yeah, it's a little bit of work to put this guard in there, but cheap insurance from keeping this from going up in there. I'd rather be sitting in the driveway with this guard hung up than smash my oil pan. And then I just continued on up here, made another guard up front here. Like I said, this is all bolt on here, and what that does, it protects the front and anything from getting back up into the radiator area. And as you saw in previous episodes, this is all part of that frame structure that I added in here after the fact. And coming around to the back, this is where I beefed that back hitch up on here so that you can actually use it for pulling something. Otherwise, the way this particular one, when it was set up from the factory, and I'm not sure if they're all like that, but they had a 2-inch receiver on the back. It was not sufficient to pull anything, especially if you had to get pulled out of the ditch with this or a tug on there. There was just no structure for that hitch in the back, and that hitch was all tied into the motor. So before you get too carried away pulling anything with these motorhomes, really get underneath there and take a look to make sure that you've got enough structure to be pulling anything with. So that's what I did with some of the guarding on here, from the front end to the sides to the motor, the transmission, and the rear end on there. I hope some of that helps you have a few ideas of what you can do to keep upgrading these older units. Like I said, it's a real nice platform to work with. I know I rip on some of their design and everything, but oh, this is a great coach. It's something to work with on there, so it'll last me quite a few years. I don't know if I want to, or I have a need or desire to upgrade any farther than what this one is here, because this is doing a good job for me. So, well, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.